Bonjour! My name is Abomination, and welcome back to the YCL. Welcome to the beginning of Season 8 of the YCL. Here for my draft analysis video, okay? We got 10 to 12 Pokemon on the team in total, and with 100 points to pick, with 16 tiers. Most expensive things are 16, which I didn't get any of those expensive things. There were 16 coaches. I was picked 11th out of 16th, so I pretty much accepted that I wasn't going to get anything extremely expensive because they were going to be taken right away. So anyway, this is post-home draft, so that means we got Hisuian Pokemon allowed, and that's it. What else is there? Hisuian Pokemon, oh, and some legendaries like the Lake Trio and stuff, and I think Regieleki and Regidrago, stuff like that. Anyway, 11th. So, for my first pick, going down the list, I wanted Great Tusk, because Great Tusk is awesome. Great Tusk was taken before I got my first pick. They were taken, they're, of course they're going to be taken quick. Because hazard removal is extremely hard to get in draft because defog has not been given to all the guys that used to have it. So Great Tusk is a great guy to have. I didn't get Great Tusk, but instead I got Hisuian Samurott, which is one of my favorite Pokemon now. Like, it looks really cool. Water and Dark type, obviously. It's got sharpness. It hits really hard. It hits extremely hard with physical moves most of the time. However, it does still have 100 special attack, and Air Slash is boosted by sharpness. So it's not useless on the special side. So that is an option. However, it's not very fast with 85 speed, and it's not that bulky with only 65 base special defense. It's got 90 HP, which is good, and 80 defense, which is fine. But it's not that great. But 12 points. It's only 12 points. And guess what? It's my most expensive guy on the entire team. And I picked it first anyway. Yep. So after that, we went down. Obviously, it's a snake draft. Forgot to mention that. It's a snake draft. So after I went down 11th, I got to pick. It went down to the 16th and then went back up to me pretty shortly, so not very long. And I grabbed Scizor. Scizor is pretty good. It's 11 points with a massive 130 attack with a strong priority move in Bullet Punch with Technician. Obviously, you know that already. It does not have Roost in this game. There is no Roost. It does still have Defog though, so that's good. One hazard remover in Scizor. Not really ideal for Scizor, but it is an option, especially without Roost. But that's fine. It can still be like Swords Dance with some crazy stuff, so that's good. Okay. Took a long time for my pick again, all the way up, and I'm going all the way back down. I got a Goodra, which is its special defense is base 150 and its HP is 90. It is indestructible on the special side. Only 70 defense, not very good. 80 speed, and Scizor's speed is 65, so my team so far is not very fast, not at all. 100 attack though, and 110 special attack, and it gets a lot of moves. Like it almost has coverage on every single type. It does not have, let's see, like psychic moves. It does not have fairy moves. But it has almost everything else. It has a lot. It has grass, it has ice, it has fire, it has obviously dragon, it has electric, it has no dark, I don't think. It does have ground, it does have rock, and I'm thinking with like earthquake and rock slide stuff. But anyway, Goodra is very good. I've never drafted Goodra before, but I've drafted it twice now. And because I'm in 2 leagues, I'm in the YCL, and I'm also in the SSBA, which is season 1 of that league. So I'll talk about that in obviously that video though. But I drafted it in there, and I got it here, so Goodra's pretty good. Not very long until my first until my next pick, which I got Diancie. Guess what? Diancie's back in the game because Pokemon Home. Goodra was 10 points, by the way. Diancie is 8 points with a massive 150 defense and 150 base special defense. Only 50 HP. However, that is pretty much the same bulk as Toxapex, and we all know how bulky Toxapex is. Granted, Toxapex has Regenerator and Recover. Diancie cannot heal itself outside of Rest and Draining Kiss, but it has a lot more offense than Toxapex with 100 base attack and 100 base special attack. Mixed attacker. Clear Body means no Intimidate, so I can just fire Diamond Storm, and it does Diamond Storms, and it does a lot of damage, or it does a good amount of damage, and with a 50% chance to double my defense. And she also gets Body Press, which does more damage based on your defense stat, which is really good. Also, she's 50 speed. It's very slow team so far. I needed something quick. I needed something fast, and like very fast. So it took a long time to get my pick again, and then I got Kilowattrel. I've never drafted Kilowattrel. However, I know it's good. I liked it since I saw it for the first time in the game. It has 125 base speed, so that's very fast. Not as fast as like Crobat, for example, but Crobat's not in the game. But it does have Volt Absorb, so I can stop Volt Switches so far. And Competitive is also a good ability because you can just soak in and Intimidate, and then your special attack is doubled, which is really strong. 105 base special attack is not amazing, however, it's not bad. It's better than never mind. It's second best. Goodra's got better special attack, but still, whatever. Anyway, but it's very fast, and electric and flying is very hard to switch into. You don't switch into that easily. Ground types don't handle hurricanes that well, but yeah. So that's Kilowattrel, and then next up, 5th on the list, we got Sarina, which Sarina is pretty good. I got it for Rapid Spin because Rapid Spin, another hazard remover, was very valuable. I needed it because Scizor, I don't really want Scizor to do it all the time. But I like Sarina. However, it lost a lot of things this generation. No more knockoff and no more triple axle. So that really sucks. It still has Synthesis, still obviously has Power Whip, and High Jump Kick, and it still has Rapid Spin. So that's nice. But no triple axle means I can't just execute a Dragon Flying type that's, wanting to set up a Dragon Dance. And she has a hard time hitting Dragon Flying types, which there's quite a few of them, like Dragonite and Salamence. And Garchomp too, Dragon Ground types too, Garchomp and Flygon, stuff like that. Anyway, I got Sarina, that's nice. Rapid Spin. Next up, at this point, I wanted a Ghost type, and I had Gengar on the list. However, I was going to draft it pretty much last. If it was still around in the last round, then I was going to take Gengar. But Gengar got taken, and then I was kind of thinking, there wasn't very many Ghost types at the high point Ghost types, like bulky Ghost types. I didn't really want Gengar because it wasn't bulky, and I wanted a bulky Ghost type so I can come in safely on something trying to Rapid Spin, because I'm going to be having hazards with Hisuian Samurott setting up spikes every time it uses Ceaseless Edge. I would like a Ghost type to stop Rapid Spin from happening, and Goldengo was taken, and I don't like Goldengo, so I don't think I would have taken it anyway, even though it is the best way to stop anything from removing hazards. It stops Defog, it stops Rapid Spin, and it stops Mortal Spin from Glamora, so that it's really good. But anyway, I got Palossand instead. Very physically defensive Ghost type, which is what I want to stop Rapid Spinners. It is my cheapest guy at 5 points. Sarina was 7 points, and Kilowattrel was 8 points. I did not mention that, but very physically defensive. Special defense at 75 and HP at 85 is not the best special defense, but defense is 110, and special attack's pretty good at 100. 35 speed though, very slow. Sarina is 72. This is not a fast team. But I think it's a good team. I do have some speed later on still. Anyway, yeah, Palossand's here to stop Rapid Spin. That's what I wanted. Also, ghost types are generally really good to have. And also, water compactions can be pretty good. It's not a Terra Captain. I'll just spoil it now. I was going to say it last, but my next pick is for 6 points is Glastrier, which is 580 base stat total for 6 points. I think it's really good. It's pure ice type, which obviously really sucks. It's not very good, but 100 base HP, 145 base attack, 130 defense, and 110 special defense. Its speed is 30, so it will have to take a hit before it attacks. But if it does attack, it is going to absolutely rip something apart. Like, there's no way it's not going to do very much damage unless it's like a resisted hit. If I'm hitting like a Steelix, which is not in the game, but if I hit a Steelix, which does not resist ice, but a Steelix would be able to handle me because it's got 200 base defense. But anyway, even so, it does not have high horsepower in this generation. For some reason, they got rid of moves on Glastrier and added moves on Spectrier. And Spectrier was already way better, so that's not very nice for them to do that to Glastrier. But it still has Stomping Tantrum, so it still has ground coverage. It's just not as good as high horsepower. But anyway, that is Glastrier. For 6 points as well, I got Delphox, which is another fast guy with 104 speed, 100 base special defense is pretty good, and 114 base special attack. And I did not have a fire type yet, which was good. My Dragon Fairy and Steel is Scizor, Goodra, and Diancie, and now my Fire Water Grass is Samurott, Sarina, and Delphox. So obviously my Dragon Fairy and Steel is a lot stronger than my Water, Grass, and Fire, but I don't dislike my Water, Grass, and Fire. I think Sarina is pretty good. Obviously Hisuian Samurott is a nuke, and Delphox is here with cool. I've never drafted Delphox before. This is the first time actually I had the opportunity to draft Delphox since it didn't exist in Sword and Shield, and I only started playing draft leagues in Sword and Shield. So this is my first opportunity. Got Delphox. I wanted Meloetta on this team. I didn't get Meloetta. And if you see so far, I don't even have a normal type. And I'll spoil it. I'll go ahead and spoil it right now. There is no normal type on my team, despite that being my favorite type. Because there's no Miltank in the game, and I wanted Meloetta, but she was taken, and I didn't really find anything else that appealed to me for some reason. So no normal type for me. Next up, we got Toxicroak, which is probably the pick on my team that I'm kind of iffy on in total. It is 6 points, so it doesn't really matter. But it's also 85 speed, which is the same as Hisuian Samurott, which I don't like having exactly the same speed on the team. However, it is a water immunity, which is really good. Very valuable. I didn't have a water immunity yet, so having that is very good. Although, Dracovish is not in the game. That is the main reason why I like having the water immunities, because of Dracovish. However, Palafin still exists. So Toxicroak is actually a pretty good switch into Palafin. It resists the fighting type moves, and it resists the water type moves, which is really good, right? So we got Anticipation, and Dry Skin is the major one that we're going to be using. But Poison Touch is there for as well. If I don't need to be immune to water, I can poison things with knockoff. Toxicroak does not learn knockoff, so that sucks, but whatever. Anyway, it still has close combat and still, annoying. Anyway. And then next up, I had a lot of points still, so for 11 points, I drafted Tyranitar. Tyranitar has been on the team before in the CBDL, which is the Ubers League I did, which was, it was a little bit Ubers. We were allowed one Uber. But anyway, I had Tyranitar there, and Tyranitar is really good. Indominus is his name. Another 600 base stat total, guys. So I got 3 of those in Goodra, Diancie, and now Tyranitar. It's a monster. Rock types are very good. That's my second rock type, though, because I do have Diancie already. But rock and dark is a lot different than rock and fairy. They're very different. They share grass and water weaknesses and ground. 134 attack, monster. HP, 100 in defense, 95 special attack is nothing to ignore, 100 special defense with obviously the Sandstorm means its special defense is very indestructible, 61 speed, not very fast, Toxicroak is 85 like I said, yes. And that is 11 guys. Tyranitar is a monster, it can use Stealth Rocks obviously, and Dragon Dance is a major problem. If you don't have a fighting type move, you won't kill it in one shot, pretty much. Maybe an Earthquake from like a stab Earthquake maybe puts it down, but not easily. It would have to have a lot of investment, maybe Choice Banded. Tyranitar is a tank. Monstrous Beast. And then on the last guy we had, because I still had, looks like I had 10 points remaining. For 9 points though, I got Uxie, which I've never drafted Uxie before. I could have. It was in Sword and Shield for forever. It was also in BDSP. I could have drafted it in any draft. This is the first time I got it though. It does not have knockoff anymore, and it does not have wish anymore, which I'm pretty sure it had wish before, but it does not have wish anymore. But it still has Stealth Rock, and it still has U-turn, and like Thunder Wave, it is still annoying. With 95 base speed on a tank is very good, and 130 base special defense, 130 base defense, and 75 HP is very indestructible, not easily taken down. And then the offenses are not that bad, both at 75 attack, 75 special attack, especially because in this game, the Lake Trio got a new move called Mystical Power, which is a psychic type move. I believe it's 80 base power and it's 90 accuracy, but it has a 100% chance of boosting your special attack by 1 stage, which is really good on Uxie. If it had Wish, it would be even better. It does not have Wish, so it has a hard time sustaining itself, but Mystical Power plus like Draining Kiss, it should be able to absorb and it should be able to absorb health after getting a +1, because it won't die in one shot. It has to be like a Shen Pao at +2 using Crunch, right? That would kill me in one shot. But it won't die in one shot usually. And it's also a Levitate user, so Tyranitar and like Diancie and Toxicroak are protected from those ground type moves. So Uxie also has a lot of coverage with it has grass coverage, it has electric coverage, it has ice coverage, but no ice beam, but it has ice punch. Mesprit is the only Lake Trio guy that has ice beam, unfortunately, but that's fine, whatever. And that is 12 guys. Most of them are around like we got 5 to 12 points. I didn't get anyone that was cheap. Cheapest guy is Palo Sand at 5 points, and nobody is too expensive, which is the most expensive guy is Hisuian Samurott at 12 points. So nobody's really gonna know what 6 I'm gonna bring, or it's not gonna be obvious guaranteed brings. Well, there will be, but there won't be stuff like that I'll bring every single week. Like, even though, like, I'm probably not going to bring Hisuian Samurott every single week, even though it is really awesome, and Ceaseless Edge is really good, I might not do it. My Terra Captains, I didn't say that. Okay, the rules were we had 15 points to select Terra Captains, but they couldn't be any more expensive than 10 points. Which the only guys that I couldn't pick were Tyranitar, Hisuian Samurott, and Caesar. Everything else I could have picked because they're 10 points and under. My 2 Terra Captains, obvious one, Glastrier is a Terra Captain, so I can get rid of that pure Ice type, because that type is very bad. I don't have to run heavy duty boots, because I can Terrastallize into anything I want. If I Terrastallize into a fighting type, I can be a body press set that's resistant to Stealth Rocks, and with 130 defense, it's gonna hit really hard, like, right? And not only that, but yeah. Alright, this is one example. It's Open Terra as well. I did not mention that. It's Open Terra. I can Terrastallize into whatever I want. So Glastrier is going to be really strong. If I'm bringing it, it's going to Terrastallize, pretty much. Even though my other Terra Captain is Diancie. Terra Diancie is extremely strong as well. She is indestructible, right? And she's very offensive, and she can set up, she gets defense extremely easily, and she has Calm Mind and Amnesia to fix her special defense. So she is very indestructible, and with Terra, if they have a steel type that's coming in, I can easily terrestrialize into also a steel type, for example, and just soak up the steel moves like they were nothing all of a sudden, and then they have to switch out, which lets me get a second Calm Mind / a second Diamond Storm, which would double my defense, and then 50% of the time, not to mention they'd have to take the Diamond Storm hit, so they couldn't just go into a fire type to kill me as a steel type. As a steel type, it'd still be weak to ground. Whatever. Anyway, what if I could be Terra Grass? It's open Terra, so it's going to be really strong. Both my Terra captains are going to be very, very powerful for Diancie and Glastrier. So that's going to be my draft analysis. Those are my 12 guys. I have a full team of 12. Very strong guys. I'm very happy with the draft. Or I'm fairly happy with the draft. I'm not extremely happy. I feel like a few things I would like better. Scizor, I know is going to bait in some fire type moves. Good thing I have Diancie and Tyranitar to take those moves. And Delphox can absorb those moves very well. And Samurott. So I have ways to help Scizor not take a fire move. But my weaknesses, I feel like Hazard removal is a little weak. Sarina and Scizor, hard, kind of not very strong at removing hazards. But that's fine, because I'm also going to be having a lot of hazards with Samurott, so I'll be baiting in Defog, which will get rid of the hazards on my side as well. If it's Rapid Spin, then I can get Palossand in. That is one of my weaknesses. The other weakness is my speed. I feel like maybe my team is a little bit slow. Kilowattrel is obviously very fast, 125. But it's still Kilowattrel. There's a reason why it's 8 points. I'm not insulting it. It's not that bad, but I could have had a little bit more of a threatening speed guy. Delphox is also pretty quick at 104. It's not the fastest thing, but 104 is pretty quick. With 114 special attack, again though, there's a reason why it's 6 points. It's weak to Stealth Rocks. Kilowattrel is weak to Stealth Rocks, so it's going to have a hard time kind of switching in and cleaning up things, or it's going to be a hard Revenge Killer it's going to be hard Revenge Killer because it's going to have to take Stealth Rocks and stuff, which fast guys are generally like Revenge Killers, like that. Fast, frail guys are Revenge Killers. But those are my two weaknesses. Other than those two things, I really like the team because I feel like it's very bulky, it's very hard to kill things. It's very hard to kill. Scizor is hard to kill, Gujo is hard to kill, Diancie is hard to kill, Glastrier is very hard to kill, Tyranitar is very hard to kill, Uxie is very hard to kill, right? Samurott hits very hard, Kilowattrel hits very hard, Delphox hits very hard. Obviously some of my extremely bulky guys also hit really hard, like Glastrier and Tyranitar. Those hit very hard. Toxicroak can be very annoying, they kind of have to prep for that. Palossand can be very annoying because it can heal, obviously, and it can heal in the Sandstorm for more health. Sarina can be decently annoying. It's not that bad. I'm not too excited about Sarina LC. I'm hoping to be proven wrong, but the lack of triple axle and knockoff makes it kind of hard to fill in those moves. But that just means I can run like Synthesis, I guess. But yeah. Very strong team overall. And I'll see you. By the time this video goes out, I'm playing the battle today. So you'll see it next week. Next Saturday is when week 1 will go up. Yeah, so hope you look forward to that. And I thank you for watching and listening to me ramble on about my team. And I'll see you for the next video. Yep. Smell you later.